Today I was talking about the global inequality problem we face, where last year, for example, global billionaires increased their wealth by $1 trillion. The richest 1% now own 45% of global wealth. Meanwhile, 44% of humanity, that's 3.5 billion people, live below the poverty line, the World Bank poverty line, and that's unchanged since 1990. So we're seeing increase in global wealth inequality right now, and we need to do something about it. And one of the key solutions to that is changing our global tax system and global cooperation to ensure that low-income countries are getting the funds they need so that they can invest in poverty eradication in their own countries. The African group has been global leaders in advocating for a better global tax system. Right now, international tax rules are agreed through the OECD. They've controlled that space for about 60 years. That meant many low-income countries were locked out of the conversation. The African group has been really leading the charge globally to democratise tax, and they have been successful. At the United Nations in August last year, there was an agreement to establish a new United Nations Convention on Tax, which really signals the opportunity to balance the scales, have every country have a say on the global tax rules we set, and to help rein in multinational corporate tax avoidance and also extreme growth in billionaire wealth to ensure we have effective tax rates for billionaires across the globe. Australia has played at times quite a leadership role in the tax space globally. We're really proud that Australia has implemented world-leading legislation on what's called public country-by-country reporting, which is where corporations have to open their books on their profits and where they're paying taxes. And this is really going to cast a light on corporations that are shifting their profits to avoid paying their fair share of tax. So Australia's a leader in this space at the moment, which we're really proud of, but there's other areas that they could be doing a lot more. And I think ensuring not just transparency, but that we have effective taxation of our biggest corporations and mining corporations is critically important to ensure that we have enough revenue to have the public services that everyone needs here in Australia and to eradicate poverty. I really want to see us have a democratic, sensible conversation about tax in this country. Tax is what makes our society function. It's a public good that we all need to pay, but we haven't got the balance right in terms of a fair tax system. We're seeing that the wealthiest amongst us and the biggest corporations are not paying their fair share, and we really want to have a conversation about how we can fix that. We need to do that in a respectful way that brings the whole community with us. I think we need to do more to educate the Australian people about the inequality and poverty problem, but also how tax can be a solution to the services that we all value so much, our quality healthcare and education system. I think there's been a lot of advocacy and policy work done over many years that is pointing to all the right solutions, but the major parties are not listening. So we really need governments of all colours to really come to the table and think openly about how we can address the problems in our tax system. We've got a structural deficit in relation to tax in this country where we're not raising enough tax to meet our needs, and we really need a respectful conversation about how we can fix that. Ensuring that big corporations are paying their fair share of tax. Right now there's so many tax loopholes, and we know a quarter of corporations are paying no tax at all in a given year. So we want to shift that and make sure that all corporations pay, particularly the big ones, are paying their fair share.